glory goes to our power. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rukakotesh. Greetings to all the Israelites. We just got to keep doing our Father's work, man. So, this is Yeshayahu, Isaiah, chapter 5, 6, 7. Now let's go. Yahweh's disappointed vineyard. This talks to all of us, all the Israelites. Now let me sing to you, my well-beloved, a song of my beloved regarding his vineyard. My well-beloved has a vineyard and a very fruitful hill. He dug it up and cleared out its stones and planted with the choicest vine. He built a tower in its midst and also made a winepress in it. So he expected it to bring forth good grapes, but it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and the men of Judah, judge please between me and my vineyard. What more could have been done to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Why then, when I expected it to bring forth good grapes, did it bring forth wild grapes? And now, please let me tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it shall be burned, and break down its wall, and it shall be trampled down. I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned or dug, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain on it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are his pleasant plant. He looked for justice, but behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, they cry for help. That means that we all failed him, man, and we're lucky that one third is going to get redeemed, man. Forgive us, Father, for we're just imperfected, man. No, glorified be the Mashiach, man. Now let's say impending judgment on excesses. That means for all you sellouts, man. They sold for greed, man. It says, woe to those who join house to house. They add field to field till there is no place where they may dwell alone in the midst of the land. In my hearing, the Lord of hosts said, truly man's house shall be desolate, great and beautiful ones without inhabitants. For 10 acres of vineyards shall yield 1 bath, and a homer of seed shall yield 1 eph. Woe to those who will rise early in the morning, that they may follow intoxicated drinks. Who continue until night, till wine inflames them. The harp and the strings, the tambourine and the flute, and wine are in their feast. But they do not regard the works of the Lord, nor consider the operations of his hand. Therefore my people have gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge. Their honorable men are famished, and their multitudes dry up with thirst. Therefore Sheol has enlarged itself, and opened its mouth beyond measures. Their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he who is jubilant shall descend into it. People shall be brought down, each man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and Elohim who is holy shall be hallowed in righteousness. Then the lambs shall feed in their pastures, and in the waste place of the fat ones strangers shall eat. Woe to those who draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as if with a cart rope. They say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that he may see it. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw near and come, that we may know it. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe to the man mighty at drinking wine. Woe to the man valiant for mixing intoxicating drinks, who justify the wicked for a bribe, and take away the justice from the righteous man. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble and the flame consumes the shaft, so their roots will be as rotten, and their blossom will ascend like dust, because they have rejected the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Therefore the anger of Elohim is arose against his people. He has stretched out his hand against them and stricken them, and the hills tremble. Their carcasses were as refuse in the midst of the street. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. He will lift up a banner to the nations from afar, and will whistle to them from the ends of the earth. That's the chariots, man. Surely they shall come with speed swiftly. No one will be weary or stumble amongst them. No one will slumber or sleep, nor will the belt on their loins be loosened, nor the strap of their sandals be broken, whose arrows are sharp and all their bows bent. Their horses' hooves will sing like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. See, that's the chariots, man. Their roaring will be like lions. That's the lion of Judah, man, Yahushai. And they will roar like young lions. Yes, they will roar and lay hold of the prey. They will carry it away safely, and no one will deliver. In that day they will roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one looks to the land, behold darkness and sorrow. The light is darkened by the clouds, man. Forgive us, Father. Now, chapter 6, Isaiah called to be a prophet. Now it says there, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord sitting on a throne high and lifted up, and the train of his robe filled the temple. Above it stood seraphim. See, man, he's seen the Most High's throne. Each one had 6 wings. With 2 he covered his face, with 2 he covered his feet, and with 2 he flew. And one cried to another, saying, Holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of glory. And the posts of the door were shaken by the voice of him who cried out, and the house was filled with smoke. So I said, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of people of unclean lips. For my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then one of the seraphims flew to me, having in his hand live coal which he had taken with the tongues from the altar. Then he touched my mouth with it and said, Behold, this has touched your lips. Your iniquity is taken away, and your sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom should I send, and who will go for us? Then I said, Here I am, send me. And he said, Go and tell this people, keep on hearing but do not understand, keep on seeing but do not perceive. Make the heart of this people dull, and their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and return and be healed. Then I said, Lord, how long? He answered, Until the cities are laid waste and without inhabitants. The houses are without a man, the land is utterly desolate. The Lord has removed men far away, and the forsaken places are many in the midst of the land. But yet a tenth will be in it, and I will return and be for consuming, as a terebinth tree or as an oak, whose stump remains when it is cut down. So the holy seed shall be its stumps. Damn, man. Father, man, he's gonna judge us, man. 2/3 of us, man. Now it says that Isaiah was sent to King Ahaz. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, the Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, went up to Jerusalem to make war against him, but could not prevail against him. And it was told to the house of David, saying, Syria's forces are deployed in Ephraim, so his heart and the heart of his people were moved as the trees of the woods are moved with the wind. Then the Lord said to Isaiah, Go out now to meet Ahaz, you and Shir-Hashub, your son, at the end of the aqueduct from the upper pool on the highway up to the fuller field, and say to him, Take heed and be quiet. Do not fear or be faint-hearted, for these 2 stubs of smoke, firebrands for the fire, anger of Rezin and Syria, and the son of Remaliah, because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have plotted evil against you, saying, Let us go up against Judah and trouble it, and let us make a gap in its wall for ourselves, and set up king over them, the son of Tabal. That's the son, man. Thus says, that's the 2/3 kunjaks against the 1/3 remnant. Thus says Lord Elohim, It shall not stand, nor shall it come to pass, for the head of Syria is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is risen. Within 65 years Ephraim will be broken, so that it will not be a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son. If you will not believe, surely you should not be established. Man, it's deep, man. Now it says Immanuel's prophecy, talking about Yahushai. Moreover, the Lord spoke again to Ahaz, saying, Ask a sign for yourself from the Lord your Elohim. Ask it either in the depths or in the heights above. But Asa said, I will not ask, nor will I test the Lord. Then he said, Hear now, O house of David, it is small thing for you to weary man, but will you weary my Elohim also? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Immanuel. Curds and honey he shall eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. For before the child shall know to refuse evil and choose the goods, the lamb that you dread will be forsaken by both her kings. That means they will be destroyed. The Lord will bring the Lord will bring the king of Assyria upon you and your people and your father's house, days that have not come since the days that Ephraim departed from Judah. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord will whistle for the flag that is the farthest part of the rivers of Egypt, and for the beast that is in the land of Assyria. They will come, and all of them will rest in the desolate valley, in the clefts of the rocks, and all the torrents, and all its pastures. In the same day, the Lord will shave with a hired razor with those from beyond the river with the king of Assyria, the head and the hairs of legs, and will also remove the beard. And it shall be in that day that a man will keep alive a young cow and 2 sheep. So it shall be from the abundance of milk they give that he will eat curds. For curds and honey everyone will eat who is left in the land. It shall happen in that day that wherever there could be 1,000 vines worth 1,000 shekels of silver, it will be for briars and thorns. With arrows and bows men will come there, because all the land will become briars and thorns, and to any hill which could be dug with the hoe. You will not go there for fear of briars and thorns, but it will become a range for oxen and a place for sheep to roam. That means, 2/3 of our people are idolaters, man. Now it says Assyria will invade the land. That means that, Nimrod's mystery Babylon religion, Father God, Mother God, Son. Moreover, the Lord said to me, take a large scroll and write on it with a man's pen concerning Meher Halah Hasbaz, and I will take for myself faithful witnesses to record Uriah the priest and Zechariah the son of Jeroboam. Then I went to the prophecies, and she conceived and bore a son. That the Lord said to me, call his name Meher Shalah Hashbaz, for before the child shall have knowledge to cry, my father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoils of Samaria will be taken away before the king of Assyria. The Lord also spoke to me again, saying, inasmuch as these people refuse the waters of Shiloh that flow softly, and rejoice and sin in Remaliah, that means the sun and the moon. Now therefore, behold, the Lord brings up over them the waters of the river, strong and mighty. The king of Assyria in all his glory, he will go up over his channels and go over all his banks. He will pass through Judah, he will overflow and pass over. He will reach up to the neck, and the stretches out of his wings will fill the breast of your old land, O Immanuel. He's talking to Yahushua. Be shattered, O you people, and be broken in pieces. Give ear, all you from far countries. Gird yourself, but be broken in pieces. Gird yourself, but be broken in pieces. Take counsel together, but it will come to nothing. Speak the word, but it will not stand. For Yahweh Elohim is with us. Ooh. There you go, man. That means that 2/3 of our people have been forsaken by the living Elohim, man. I hope this was edifying. Like I said, we're not interpreting anything, man. We're translating nothing, man. So I hope that was edifying, man. And Shalom, Yahweh Bashim, Yahushua Bashim, Wahakadesh, Kwam Jasubala, man. And hopefully Zion, man, and we could be worthy to be a hopeful elect, man. Shalom.